Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about a group tied to the QAnon movement promoting Las Vegas convention. This article is put on by the Las Vegas Review Journal, and it's talking about this event being put on by the Patriot Voice called Patriot Double Down, and it's in Las Vegas from October 22nd to 25th at Caesar's Palace. Now, they call this a QAnon movement, partly to slander it because the QAnon movement has very negative connotations in mainstream media, and it has been labeled as a potential domestic terrorist threat by the FBI. Now, I can't deny that there are QAnon elements to this. If you watch their opening video, there's a couple of things on it where it has like "where we go one, we go all," which is a kind of a code phrase for the QAnon movement. It has this guy right here with the Q pin that's throwing cards in your face. And at the very beginning, you got the logo for the whole thing itself showing a queen right here. So it definitely has the QAnon leanings. Now, the group believes that a secret group of Satan-worshipping cannibalistic pedophiles control the deep state government. Now, they may claim this has no merit, that there's nothing substantiating this. But when you look at the things that they're looking at, their public record, it's these elites going to like parties where they're eating a cake that's in the form of like a human body. And it's kind of like pseudo cannibalistic things. They also look at some of the stuff as Satan worshipping, like when they're throwing blood on a child statue. It's blood mixed with semen too, so it's like super weird. And because some of these elites that are known to be deep state people, like the Clintons, the Podestas, just these people who are generally looked at as like the establishment, because they do these types of things, it has put the appearance that they are Satan worshipping cannibalistic pedophiles. Oh, the pedophiles, not just because of the child efficacy or epitaph or whatever you call it, but because they are friends with Jeffrey Epstein, who did not kill himself. And you are also looking at like Biden sniffing children's hair, talking about children rubbing his legs. You also have the weird pictures that Podesta owned, like one of them was a picture of some children sitting next to an empty pool in swimsuits. And they have like really depressed looks on their faces. It's really weird. So that's where all that's coming from. Now, I believe the QAnon movement is a psyop put on by the government to kind of placate the right and the people who would believe this kind of stuff. And I think they feed them a lot of truth, so that way they can look up that truth, and it substantiates the QAnon movement. And then they're able to feed them a bunch of lies. And that's something that I remember people always say, that Satan will feed you 100 truths just to lie to you once. So it kind of bothers me that people are still believing in the QAnon movement when it's been proven wrong so many times. But it's due to those truths that are put into it, that I think people are still holding on to it so much, despite it being proven wrong just a million times this year. So the Great Awakening refers to the QAnon belief that former President Donald Trump will expose a group of Satan-worshipping pedophile cannibals. I think they said that twice. They did. And declare martial law. That's not going to happen. Like, President Trump maybe will expose a Satan-worshipping pedophile cannibalist, but he can't declare martial law. He's not president anymore. And he's not going to be reinstated, because even if it's proven that there's fraud, then it's just going to get Biden and Kamala Harris removed, and then Nancy Pelosi will just become president. So maybe that's what they want. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about some of the speakers now. So Jim Marchant, Marchant is how you pronounce it, I think. He's a one-term Republican Nevada assemblyman, who lost his congressional race. Whoops. He unsuccessfully sued to overturn the election, and they said it's based on unsubstantiated claims of voter fraud. And he's now running for Secretary of State. But the thing with the unsubstantiated voter fraud claims is the Nevada didn't really do that much looking into it, and we didn't have an audit like what's going on in Michigan or in Arizona. And I just gotta say this. Oh, this one. Nope, this one. Here we go. Oscar Goodman. He was the mayor in Las Vegas while I was growing up. And famous American lawyer and politician. He's widely known for being a mob lawyer. We literally had a mob lawyer as our mayor here. And his wife is now the mayor. So the Goodmans are still in power. And that's just par for the course in Nevada, you know. If you look at our current governor, Governor Sisolak, he was in control of setting out the marijuana licenses. And one of the things about the marijuana licenses is that the day they went on sale, able to get them, they were all gone. And no one could get them. And that's because they had been given out to a bunch of people already before the official, date had come. And one of those people, MedMen, they donated $300,000 to Sisolak's governor campaign. And it later came out in the news that one of the guys who ran it had donated $200,000, $100,000 each in his two business partners' names without telling them, and in his own name. So that was $300,000 total. And he used company money to do it, which is also illegal. So that is an obvious kickback to our corrupt governor. So when they tell me that they haven't substantiated any voter fraud claims, I think that's just par for the course for Nevada. Jim Merchant said on email he did not know it was a QAnon event, and that he met with the people who were putting it on briefly one time and can't remember their names. He's also added that he's heard of QAnon but doesn't know what it is. I'm not really worried about speaking at this event. My goal is to get in front of as many Nevadans as I can as a candidate for Secretary of State. And I think there will be a lot of people in this event based on the history of events like this, Merchant said. There was one in Las Vegas in April that was put on by We the People Arizona Alliance, and there were over 1,000 people there, so it was good for me. So it's clear that he just wants to get in front of as many people on the right as possible to get them to come out and support him. Then we also look at this. Mia Bloom, a Georgia Georgia State University professor who studied terror groups and extremism. She said it is surprising that a company like Caesars would be willing to host this event, not just because of the potential public relations backlash, but the public health risk it could pose. Because the tendency of QAnon followers is to hold an anti-mask and anti-vaccine belief. So they're saying it's going to be turned into a super spreader event, although we found some information about the status of vaccinated people versus unvaccinated people and how they spread the virus already. But YouTube will ban me if I talk about that. So you can go on my BitChute channel where I talk about that sort of things. Link will be in the description below. Sorry, my throat's a little... let's see. They'll have a detrimental effect. We don't really care about all that stuff. So that talks about how the people who believe in this sort of stuff watch the Plandemic video, which referred to how Dr. Anthony Fauci created the coronavirus to gain power and to profit off the vaccine. You can believe what you want about that. Maybe I'll make a video on my BitChute channel about that. In addition to Merchant, advertised speakers include several prominent figures in the QAnon movement, including former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, as well as Ron and Jim Watkins. Jim Watkins owns 8kun, previously called 8chan, an anonymous online messaging board that has been taken down because it, I don't remember what event was planned on it that they claimed and took it down. I don't remember which one. The Patriot Voice is associated with online alias QAnon John. He has been promoting this event on his Telegram channel that has more than 56,000 subscribers, and is referred to the group as our organization, the Patriot Voice. So there's going to be a lot of people here. It's $650, by the way. That's just the basic ticket. Now, I don't know how much events like this normally cost, but I've been to, like, when I went to Dragon Con, it wasn't this much. And that's a event in Atlanta. I don't think I spent $650 the entire time I was there. I think it was only like, I think it was $300 to go to the actual event. Let's see, here we go. Now, please pardon their terrible graphic design. You should not use this type of font on this type of background, or this font at all. It's just hard to read. So we have General Michael Flynn, David Harris, who I don't know anything about, but it says he has shared the stage with individuals such as Candace Owens, DeSouza, General Flynn, Charlie Kirk, and Kirk Cameron, who I don't know who Kirk Cameron is. Maybe I should. Let's see. Got a couple of other people I don't really know. Ron Watkins, who apparently works with Code Monkey Z. Jim Watkins, who we already talked about. George Paradopoulos. I believe he was, the Trump aide that was arrested for, I believe it was lying to the FBI. Let's see if there was anyone else here that I recognize, but you guys can read this because I don't really know most of these people. Look how they have things coming in. The not Bernie Sanders, because I can't really read his last name, Suarez. And entertainment is by Mark Winston Kirk. He's a Grammy Award winner that I've never heard of. A DJ, who, it's a DJ. And then Bella Popa, who, as far as I can tell, is an actress or something. So there's not really much going on when it comes to, like, star people going there, as far as I know. But it might be interesting to go and talk to the people. So I'm thinking about going and interviewing people as they come in and out, and if I actually do end up getting a ticket, I'll interview the people inside of the event too, where they'll probably be more willing to talk to me. So if you want something like that for content, go ahead and tell me in the comments. But that's it for now. Have a good day.